Assalamu alaikum, dear guys. Today we will discuss about reading classes. This title is urban farming. Okay, in Paris, urban farmers are trying a soil-free approach to agriculture that uses less space and fewer resources. Digital cities face the threats to our food supplies. Okay, the sentence is like this: in Paris, urban farmers are trying a soil-free approach for agriculture that uses less space and fewer resources. Could it help cities face the threats to our food supplies? On top of a striking new exhibition hall in southern Paris, the world's largest our rooftop farm has started to bear fruit. Okay, strawberries that are small, intensely flavored, uh, resplendently red spout are abundant from large plastic tubes. Here inside, and you see the tubes are completely hollow. The roots of dozens of strawberries. Plants dazzling down inside them from identical vertical tubes nearby. Burst open row of lettuce near those aromatic herbs such as basil, sage, and peppermint opposite in narrow horizontal rays, not with soil but with coconut fibers, grow cherry tomatoes, shiny aubergines, and brightly colored chords. Okay, again I say plants dazzling down inside them from identical vertical tubes nearby, burst upon row of lettuces near those are aromatic herbs such as basil, sage, and peppermint opposite narrow horizontal rays packed not with soil but with coconut fibers, grow cherry tomatoes, shiny aubergines, and brightly colored charts. Pascal Harvey, an engineer and sustainable development consultant, began experimenting with vertical farming and aeroponic growing towers as the soil-free plastic tubes are known. On his parish apartment block of 5 years ago, the urban rooftop space above the exhibition hall is somewhat bigger. Dinesh Pascal Harvey, an engineer and sustainable development consultant, began experimenting with vertical farming and aeroponic growing towers as the soil-free plastic tubes are known in his parish apartment block of 5 years ago. The urban rooftop space above the exhibition hall is somewhat bigger. 14,000 square meters and almost exactly the size of a couple of football pitches. Already, the team of young urban farmers who tend it are picked in on their 3,000 lettuces and 150 punches of strawberries. While the remaining two-thirds of the vast open area are in production. 20 staff will harvest up to 1,000, but 1,000 of perhaps 35 different varieties of fruit and vegetable every day. Again, I say 14,000 square meters and almost exactly the size of a couple of football pitches. Already the team of young urban farmers who tend to have picked in on day 3,000 lettuces and 150 plants of strawberries, while the remaining two-thirds of the vast open area are in production. 20 staff will harvest up to 1,000 or perhaps 35 different varieties of fruit and vegetable every day. Not here, obviously, going to feed the whole city this way. Cautious, hardy. In the urban environment, you are working with very significant practical constraints clearly on what you can do and where. But enough unused space can be developed like this, there's no reason why you should eventually target maybe between 5% and 10% of consumption. Okay, we are not ever obviously going to fit the whole city this way. Cautious, hardy in the urban environment, you are working with very significant practical constraints clearly on what you can do and where. But enough unused space can be developed like this. There is no reason why you should eventually target maybe between 5% and 10% of consumption. Perhaps most significantly, however, this is real live showcase for the work of Harris Flourishing Urban Agriculture Consultancy, Agropolis, which is currently fielding inquiries from around the world to design, build, and equip a new breed of soil-free inner city farm. Okay, the method's advantages are many, he says. First, I don't much like the fact that most of the fruits and vegetables we eat have been mutated with something like 17 different pesticides. For that, the intensive farming techniques that produced them are such huge generation of greenhouse gases. Okay, perhaps most significantly, however, this is real life showcase for the work of Hardy's Flourishing Urban Agriculture Consultancy at the college, which is currently fielding inquiries from around the world to design, build, and equip a new breed of soil-free in a city farm. The method's advantages are many, he says. First, I don't much like the fact that most of the fruit and vegetables we eat have been mutated with something like different 17 pesticides or that the something or that intensive farming techniques that produced them such huge generation of greenhouse gases. Don't much like the fact either that they have traveled an average of 2000 refrigerated kilometers to my plate, that their quality is so poor because the varieties are selected for their capacity to withstand substantial journeys, or that 80% of the price I pay goes to wholesalers and transport companies, not the producers. Okay, not the producers, the producers. I don't much like the fact either that they have traveled an average of 2000 refrigerated kilometers to my pet, that their quality is so poor because the varieties are selected for their capacity to withstand substantial journeys, or that 80% of the price I pay goes to the wholesaler and transport companies, not the producers. Now, grown, grown using this soil-free method, on the other hand, which relies solely on a small quantity of water enriched with organic nutrients pumped around a closed circuit of pipes, towers, and trays, is produced up here and sold locally. Just down there, it barely travels at all, Harry says. You can select varieties for the flavor, not the resistance to the transport and storage chain, and you can pick them when they are really at their best and not before. No soil is exhausted, and the water that gently showers the plants roots over 12 minutes is recycled. So the method uses 90% less water than a classic intensive farm for the same yield. Okay. That means total sentence produce grown using the soil-free method. On the other hand, which relies solely on a small quantity of water enriched with organic nutrients pumped around a closed circuit of pipes, towers, and trays, is produced up here and sold locally just down there. It barely travels at all, Hardy says. Okay, you can select for varieties for their flavor, okay, not their resistance to the transport and storage chain. And you can pick them when they are really at their best and not before. No soil is exhausted, and the water that gently showers the plants roots over 12 minutes is recycled. So the method uses 90% less water than a classic intensive farm for the same end. Okay. Urban farming is not, of course, a new phenomenon. Inner city agriculture is booming from Shanghai to Detroit and Tokyo to Bangkok. Strawberries are being grown in disused shipping containers, mushrooms in underground car parks. Aquaponic farming, he says, is virtuous. The equipment were legal and installed on almost any flat surface and is cheap to buy. Roughly $100, £100 to £150 per square meter. We cheap to run to consuming a tiny fraction of the electricity used by some techniques. Okay, urban farming is not, of course, a new phenomenon. Inner city agriculture is booming from Shanghai to Detroit and Tokyo to Bangkok. Strawberries is being growing in disused shipping containers, mushrooms in underground car parks. Organic farming, he says, is virtuous. The equipment was little, can be installed on almost any flat surface and is cheap to buy, roughly £100 to £150 per square meter. It is cheap to run to consuming a tiny fraction of the electricity used by some techniques. Produce grown this way typically sells at prices that, while generally higher than those of classic intensive agriculture, are lower than those soil-based organic growers. There are limits to what farmers can grow this way, of course, and much of the produce is suited to summer months. Fruit, vegetables, we can't do, at least not yet, he says. Radishes are okay, but carrots, potatoes, that kind of thing, the roots are simply too long. Okay, the sentence produce grown this way typically sells at prices that, while generally higher than those of classic intensive agriculture, are lower than soil-based organic growers. There are limits to what farmers can grow this way, of course, and much of the produce is suited to the summer months. Root vegetables we can't do, at least not yet, he says. Radishes are okay, but carrots, potatoes, that kind of thing, the roots are simply too long. Fruit trees are obviously not an option, and beans tend to take up a lot of space for not much return. Nevertheless, urban farming of the kind being practiced in Paris is one part of a bigger and fast changing picture that is bringing food production closer to our lives. Fruit trees are obviously not an option. It's not an option. And these tend to take up a lot of space or not much to be done. Nevertheless, urban farming of the kind being practiced in parish is all part of a bigger and fast changing picture that is bringing food production closer to our lives. So, our reading classes urban farming related questions. First, 1 to 3 questions, and you have to complete these sentences below. Okay, and you have to choose no more than 2 words, and or a number. Okay, no more than 2 words and slash or a number. Okay, and from the passes you have to see those answers. Okay, write your answers in boxes 1 to 3 on your answer sheet. Okay, 1 to 3 on your answer sheet. You have to write your answer. Okay, 1, 2, 3. First one, vertical tubes are used to grow strawberries. Hearts. Okay, vertical tubes are used to grow strawberries. And hearts. Second question, they will eventually be a daily harvest of as much as You have to write your answer. Weight of fruits and vegetables. Okay, they will eventually be a daily harvest of as much as in weight of fruits and vegetables. Question number 3. It may be possible that the farmers produce will account for as much as 10% of the city's hour. Okay. Question number 3. It may be possible that the farmers produce will account for as much as 10% of the city's hour. That means you have to read the reading passages first, 3 times or 4 times, and you may understand the summary and you will answer the question. Right? This is a table. We have to put in this table. Questions number 4 to 7 actually is related to R1 farming. Okay, and you have to complete this table below. Choose one word from the passage for each answer and write your answers in boxes 4 to 7 on your answer sheet. Okay, and the heading intensive farming versus aeroponic urban farming. Okay, and table like this first, second, third, fourth. There are four column. Okay, gold column, section column, and cell column. And this is dot. Here you have to write the answer. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and you have to read this table and you have to understand the reading comprehension. Then you can give the answer. Okay, intensive farming versus organic urban farming. Intensive farming, organic urban farming. Yeah, growth, selection, say growth. Wide range of 4 number question that the used techniques follows here and selection quality not good. Question number 5 here. Varieties of fruit and vegetable chosen that can survive long. And question number 6. Receive very little of overall income. Here you have to write the answer. And aeroponic urban farming not so used. Nutrients are added. Nutrients added to water which is recycled. Okay, and question number 7 here. Produce children because of its 7 number question. Okay, produce children because of which is the question you have to write down here. There guys, this is table and you have to answer 4, 5, 6, 7. That means 4 to 7 question you have to answer. You have to complete the table below choose one word from the passage for each answer. Okay, write your answer in the boxes 47 on your answer sheet. Intensive farming versus organic urban farming. Growth selection say intensive farming, organic farming, wide range of four question number, the used techniques, pollution, selection, quality not good, varieties of food and vegetables chosen that can survive long. Answer. Six, we see very little of overall impact. Urban farming not so used, nutrients added to water which is recycled, produces children because of its service. Question number 8 to 30. Do the following statement having unique information given in unique passage one. Boxes 8 to 30 on your answer sheet you answer this. Okay? If it be true, that means if statements agrees with the information. Then write the answer false if the statement contradicts. Okay, if this contradicts the information, you can give an answer or not give. If there is no information on this. Okay. Eight number question. Urban farming can take place above or below the ground. Is it false? True? One. Just let the masses and understand the sum of chemicals. Urban farming can take place over or below ground. Question number 9. Some of the equipment used in urban farming can be made by hand. Can be made by hand. Some of the equipment used in urban farming can be made by hand. Question number 10. Urban farming relies more on electricity than some other types of farming. Urban farming relies more on electricity than some other types of farming. That is, you have to give the answer writing true, false, and not. Okay. Question 18. Farming. Do the following statements adding information given in giving taxes part. Boxes, if you type on your answer sheet, answer this. Okay? It will be true if the statement agrees with information, false if the statement contradicts the information. Not given if there is no information on this. Okay. Question number 8. Urban farming can take place above or below ground. Okay. Question number 9. Some of the equipments used in urban farming can be made by hand. Can be made by hand. And question number 10. Urban farming relies more on electricity than some other types of 11, 12, and 13. Okay, just now I've said question number 8, 9, 10. Okay, 11 question like this. Fruit and vegetables grown on an aeroponic urban farm are cheaper than traditionally grown on organic produce. That means a question like this: fruit and vegetables grown on an aeroponic urban farm are cheaper than traditionally grown organic produce. Okay, and question number 12: most produce can be grown on an urbanic urban farm than at any time of the year. Okay, whether it is true, false, or not given. Okay, 13 number question. These take longer to grow on an urban farm than other vegetables. Okay, last one could be not given. These take longer to grow on an urban farm than other vegetables. Okay, question number 11, 12, or 13.